With the release of the Alchemy update, I've decided to make a quick guide on the best purchases from the shop and the most efficient way to craft slimes. Now, we don't actually know how many elixir we get daily per slime. With my current slime amount of 19 and the alchemy packages purchased from the shop, I've ended up with about 755 elixir per day, which is about 40 per slime or 20 per slime without the alchemy packages purchased. But in the early game, with a total slime amount of 3 to 4, without having the packages purchased, it still comes to around 40 elixir per slime. But before we hop into things, a little trick with the alchemy store is that you can spend your elixir before you collect it. So always be sure to be under your future total capacity by adding your current elixir amount to your daily collection amount and checking the math there. So you want to make sure that you aren't going over your capacity and wasting a single drop of that juicy elixir. Even though we're mostly fighting for commons and uncommons at that point, but it's still good to always be efficient. Now, in terms of crafting slimes, if you are missing any slimes, I do think you should first purchase tiers and then focus on crafting with the leftovers. At 30 elixir to craft, it might be better to buy your tiers first and slowly accumulate elixir to craft your slime. The 30 elixir cost does not go up as you increase your completion amounts in the crafting screen, so there's no additional strain there. At an average of 50 elixir per tier, if you do end up with 4 tiers in the shop, there could be a scenario where you're unable to purchase one of those tiers, as the total cost of approximately 200 elixir for the 4 tiers would be higher than your daily refresh amount. This is minus the crafting cost, which would result in the unfortunate scenario of wasted tiers. In that case, we'll be the ones crying. So do keep note of that if you want to be as efficient as possible. Other than that, if you're like me and you actually produce too much elixir, I try to keep around the capacity just in case, where the scenario shows up where the shop has new items added into it. I always purchase every tier that shows up in the shop, and the slime shards as well to keep my elixir under the capacity. When I still need more items to purchase from the shop, I'll go for uncommons that are the highest value available, and by that I mean items like this green frog, since the fusion from the summons over the capacity will provide more value than the lower ranking uncommons like Slowy, for example, where green frog gives us rares instead of more uncommons, but either way it is quite trivial trying to be this efficient. Other than that, the commons are a good way to max your common levels for the collection book, as I know they take quite a while to max before your epic summons, funny enough, which is something I definitely know a lot of you are struggling with right now. Anyways, that's it for the video on the alchemy store. If anything changes, I'll make an update guide. Be sure to check out my best build video. Do like the video if you enjoyed, and be sure to subscribe for more Legend of Slime content. Enjoy.